When I first moved into my new apartment, I thought I'd finally escaped the noise of the city. It was cheap, small, and a little old, but the walls were thick and the street outside stayed quiet at night. Exactly what I needed. The landlord, a polite older woman named Mrs. Collins, handed me the keys and warned me about one thing. Don't worry if you hear noises from upstairs. The building's old. Pipes, you know. I didn't think much of it. That first night, I fell asleep easily. But around 2:47 a.m., I woke up to a sound. Footsteps. Soft, steady, deliberate. Someone was pacing directly above me. 5 steps forward, pause. 5 steps back. Again and again. I stared at the ceiling, listening. It wasn't creaking wood or pipes. It was the unmistakable rhythm of someone walking. The next morning, I went upstairs to introduce myself. Maybe ask them to walk lighter that late. I knocked on the door marked 3B. No answer. I knocked again. Nothing. So I left a small note that said, "Hi, I live below you. Could you please keep it down after midnight? Thanks, smiley face." That night, the footsteps stopped. But the next night, they came back. This time, it wasn't pacing, it was dragging, like someone was slowly pulling something heavy across the floor. Then came a thump, a single, dull thud, and then silence. The following morning, I went up again, but the note I'd left was gone. No sign of anyone inside. That's when I asked Mrs. Collins, "Hey, who lives in 3B?" Her expression changed instantly. She frowned. 3B? Oh dear, there's no 3B tenant. That unit's been empty since before you moved in. I laughed awkwardly. "No, there is. I've been hearing someone up there every night." She shook her head, firm. "Impossible. The door's been locked for months." That night, I stayed up. I turned off the lights, sat in bed, and waited. 2 a.m. 2:30. 2:45. Right on time. Footsteps. Slow, heavy, above my room. My heart pounded as I grabbed my phone and hit record. I whispered into it, "You hear that? There's someone up there." The footsteps stopped. And then, for the first time, 3 sharp knocks sounded on my ceiling, right above my bed. I froze. It was as if whoever it was could hear me breathing. The next morning, I showed the recording to Mrs. Collins. She frowned, replaying it several times, then sighed. "Follow me." We went upstairs together. She unlocked the door to 3B, and the smell hit us instantly. Dust, rot, stale air. The apartment was empty, except for faint footprints in the layer of dust leading from the window to the center of the room, and stopping right above where my bed would be below. Mrs. Collins whispered, "The man who used to live here, he was quiet, kept to himself. They found him right there." She pointed to the same spot. "They said he'd been pacing all night before—" She trailed off. We backed out slowly. She locked the door again, her hands shaking. That night, I tried to sleep. But at 2:47 a.m., the pacing started again. Except this time, I wasn't the only one who heard it. The sound came from my phone, too. The recording app had started on its own. I looked at the screen, trembling, and saw the waveform moving, reacting to footsteps,
coming from inside my room. And then a voice, barely above a whisper. "You shouldn't have come upstairs." The recording stopped. The room fell silent.
And for a moment, I thought maybe I was dreaming. But the silence after that whisper was too real. I sat frozen on my bed, staring at the phone screen, replaying it over and over. Each time the same thing, my breath, the footsteps, and that voice. "You shouldn't have come upstairs." Except, when I played it again at 3 a.m., there was something new. A faint sound right before the whisper, like a door slowly creaking open. I didn't remember hearing that before. The next morning, I went to Mrs. Collins' office. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. I told her everything, the pacing, the whisper, the recording. She just stared at me with this heavy, tired look. Then she reached into a drawer and handed me an old key. "This," she said, "is the master key. I shouldn't be giving you this, but I need you to see something." We went upstairs together. Apartment 3B looked the same as before, cold, dusty, abandoned. But this time, she went straight to the far wall where faint footprints had stopped. She pressed her hand against the wallpaper, and a section of it shifted. A hidden door. Behind it was a narrow passage, just wide enough for one person to walk through. The air was heavy, mold, rust, and something else, something metallic. Mrs. Collins whispered, "This isn't supposed to be here. The floor plan doesn't even list it." She handed me her flashlight, too afraid to step forward. I walked ahead, the beam trembling against cracked concrete. It led to a small storage space, empty shelves, old cables, and one broken chair in the corner. But there was something written on the wall in faded red paint. 3B is below. My heart dropped. Below? I turned to tell Mrs. Collins, but she was gone. The door had shut. I ran to it, pounding with my fists. "Mrs. Collins, open the door!" Nothing. Then the light flickered, and I saw him. Standing in the corner, tall, gaunt, wearing the same torn suit I'd glimpsed in my nightmares. His head tilted upward toward the ceiling, that same grotesque grin stretching across his face. He started walking toward me, slow, deliberate, every step echoing like it came from inside my own head. I stumbled back, the flashlight shaking, the walls closing in. "Stay away!" I screamed, but my voice came out broken, tiny. And then he stopped, right in front of me, still looking upward, still smiling. And in that same quiet, rasping voice, he whispered, "You moved into my room." I bolted through the side passage, kicking the door open and falling onto the apartment floor. Mrs. Collins was gone. The hallway was empty. I ran downstairs, out of the building, and didn't stop until I was on the street. It's been 3 weeks since that night. I don't live there anymore. I packed everything and moved out the next morning. The police said there was no sign of a hidden room, no writing on the wall. They said Mrs. Collins was out of town that entire night. But every night since, at 2:47 a.m., I hear footsteps. Not from above anymore, from the floor beneath my bed.
And when I record it now, I don't hear the footsteps on playback. Just a voice whispering my name over and over until the recording cuts off at exactly 3 a.m.